don't see the problem with this drawing is proof that dog whistle politics really work.
And this is why I say, for the people who are going to school for the history of animation, there needs to be a course where it includes the racism in animation, because it wasn't a small snippet of animation history that they could just gloss over with just a paragraph or so addressing the racism. And then the rest of the course be the good parts of like Disney and Warner Brothers in their take of animation. Because a lot of the racist depictions from all over the world are that way because of America. Their biggest export was their media. So people from all around the world were seeing racist depictions on their television because of America. And some of your favorite animes from Japan reflect that. And there's no excuse. You cannot excuse Japan being so infantilized that they don't know what the meanings of these lips, of these depictions mean when it comes to displaying on their black and brown, or heck, even their non-human or white characters. You cannot use that excuse because it's been consistent that when they use these depictions on their characters, it's parallel to the people that have used them for minstrels. They're there to represent the characters that are goofy, that are oddball, that are deemed unattractive, to show that they're an outsider. They're not like human like the rest of the population that lives around them. There's something off about it. You will never see these depictions, except for one anime. You'll never see depictions like this be used on a protagonist in a more romantic light. They are used to reflect what they saw America deems as ugly and funny looking. And as often as I was, for the 4 years I've been here, trying to be run off this app by some of the most popular One Piece fan users on here, because they don't want to believe that their favorite mangakas or their favorite animes and mangas have racist depictions of themselves in it. Like, y'all are going to be like Pikachu in the face when you see that there are people out there trying to depict your favorite American black characters, or heck, even black people, with these racist depictions because y'all let Japan get away with it, made it be popular in American media because, animes be shared in America and they don't edit those lips out, even though America knows where those lips came from. Y'all make those depictions okay, and it comes full circle to drawing black people with those Sambo lips. And a lot of y'all don't want to admit that y'all are fine with it as long as the anime is fire. Like, I understand y'all want to be included in cool stuff, but don't make it to the point where you'll overlook racism just so you could see a bit of yourself in anime. At least you could see a brown-skinned character in anime. And you cannot excuse Japan for not knowing. They've been knowing about the racist depictions of black people since 1988. And not even just black people, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans as well. So they know. And some of them that didn't know and acknowledge it, they will make efforts to change their character design. It has happened. And not all anime from the 80s had racist caricatures of black people. But y'all obsessed anime fans need to be careful that you would let anime slide so much at the racist depictions of yourselves, it's gonna become full circle to back to kids nowadays not knowing the history of drawing black people in those very same depictions. So listen, you could like your favorite anime and still point out the flaws in it. Just because you like this anime, that's not anybody saying that you also like the racism in it. There are plenty of fan artists that I support and even like their stuff that like One Piece, but they know not to display their black characters or Usopp in these lips. And this goes for any anime out there. Just because you like an anime that has characters with these lips, I'm not calling you racist for liking it. You could like something and still point out the flaws in it. So when I went to art college, we were given this book of the mice and magic. And when you look into the context, you don't see anything that addresses like the racism of Disney and Warner Brothers era. And while you see blackface depictions in this book, and they will address it as blackface, they'll word it like, oh, it was just someone who was great at caricatures. A caricature, as you know, would be an exaggeration of a feature. And if that feature moved out of place, the character didn't look right. That's what they said this is, just a caricature. They addressed it as blackface, but completely glossed over it by saying, well, a caricature. And you'll see these depictions throughout Mice and Magic. And they never really outright say that this stuff is racist. They just talk about the process, who did it. It's a very flamboyant spoof, as well as, the frustration that the animators had crunch time to animate this. Nothing about the racist implications and this, that, and the other, or the behind it and what it represented to Black people. This book was mostly focused on the white trailblazers of animation and the influence they had, but nothing addressing the racist influences. And yeah, just from like these 2 pages, that's about it. Everything else is just the other stuff they've worked on when it comes to Warner Brothers, Disney, and an MGM. Nothing racist related. It's all good times here in this book.
But fortunately, we had a teacher outside of reading the book that was willing to address the racism in animation history.
The bamboo earrings, baby.